Today I'm going to talk about how to filter out your own website views from Google Analytics. Hello, this is Hossain. I am the founder of DataUp, where we help businesses around the world improve their customer experience. And Google Analytics is definitely one of those tools that help you do that. So we get this question often from our clients, which is, how can I remove my own website views from Google Analytics? So this question comes up because there are internal traffic, which could be, for example, your employees, could be your family or friends potentially, or yourself, that are going to the website quite often, maybe making changes, maybe just checking to make sure it's working or validating certain things. When you're doing that, you as a person, you're a user, you will be counted as an additional user to Google Analytics. So, obviously if you're starting your business and you're just trying to get things moving, it won't matter that much. But as you get to a point where you're paying attention to your analytics and you want to make sure that you really understand how many people go to your website from a certain place, or certain places in like Google Ads, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. You want to really make sure that those people, or you're not counted in those people, right? So the idea is you're only collecting data about your prospects, and it's not getting mixed up with your own data, internal traffic. It's not really helpful that way. So that's kind of what you're here for. We're here for today. We're going to figure out how to filter out the IP addresses for specific locations. And this is based on the modem usually. So for example, like if you're in an office, you'll have an IP address that is very specific to that modem. So that IP address is going to be showing up in your, the IP address is going to be counted as a user, and different people will be counted as different users in that IP address. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you exclude that, right? So that's what we're here for today. And the quick caveat here is that this will not talk about the GA4. If you are using GA4 already, I'll do a different video where I'll show you how to remove data as in your IP from that versus the Universal Analytics. This will be talking about the Universal Analytics only. All right, so what is the first step? The first step is to figure out what is your IP. The very simplest way to do it is go to Google and type in what's my IP. You will get some numbers here. It will be something like this, like something dot, something dot, etc. You may see also like a long string of characters. That could also happen. Either are fine. You'll notice that I put in some X's here, so my IP address isn't visible. But the idea is you're going to copy this. We'll need this later. And then we're going to go to Google Analytics. Okay, I already went to Google Analytics, set it up here, so we don't have to do that again. But basically, you go to analytics.google.com. Probably already done that before, and you go select the right account that you're trying to do this in. So if you have multiple accounts, like I do, you want to make sure that you're selecting the right account. As you see here, I have this test site here. It doesn't really mean anything. And I have nothing going on the test site. Just wanted to show you what this process is. On the left-hand side, you'll see the home, and at the bottom, you'll see admin. So we'll click on admin. You'll see the admin. This is the settings page, essentially. And in here, you have a lot of different settings you can change. One of the things that we'll focus on today is the filters, right? So you'll click on filters right here. And in the filters, you'll notice that I already added a home IP in here, and I can also add a new filter, but what I'll do is I'll just remove this, and so you can see how it's working. By the way, you may also have something here before, or maybe your developers added it or something, which is totally okay. We're just going to create a new one for, let's say, your home or your office, wherever you're checking your website quite often. Okay, so we'll do add filter. Create new filter is great. Okay, here let's just say home IP, as an example, or you can say office. Let's just say I'm at the office, office IP, and predefined is a good, and you're going to select the exclude here for the filter. Okay, you can also say include, but that's not relevant for today. We're trying to exclude, just remove these IP addresses. That's our goal today. All right, and then we're going to say select the source here, and in here we're going to say okay. We're going to exclude the traffic from IP addresses. That's our goal. You have other options here. Depending on what your need is, you may choose that, okay? And then here you have some options for like, okay, does it contain this IP address? Is it equal to? You can select either. That should be any of these should be working okay. As long as you know what you're doing, you should be fine. So you can say that are equal to or contain. I'll go with contain for now. And I'm going to go back here for my IP address. I'm going to say copy, and I'm going to paste that here. All right, perfect. Got it. And then save. So now I have an office IP. All right, so you'll notice that this IP address is X's. That's why it's because I just put that in for showing what this is. If you did something like where you're equal to, this will actually try to validate it. So what you'll want to do is you want to actually make sure that, you could do that, it's totally fine. You'll want to make sure that you have an actual IP address here. I was just showing you for this that contains, so as an example. Let's try to add another one, kind of showing you this process again. We'll do create a new filter, home IP. We're going to say exclude. And again, we're going to select the IP address, where you can say that it contains, right? I'm going to use the same one. Let's just say I'll change some of these numbers, assuming this is a different IP address or something. There you go. And if you do the contain, that should be okay as well. And we're going to save. And now we'll see we have two IP addresses that are excluded from the data that's in Google Analytics. Now, a quick thing is when you do that exclusion in the filters, the data that you had before will not be affected. So they will still be what it was. So for example, let's just say that yesterday you had 200 people going to your website, it'll still be 200. Going forward though, for the IP addresses that you just excluded, what will happen is you, as in wherever you are, so that location, so that let's just say our office will not be included in that data anymore. So let's say you have 5 people in the office that are constantly going to the website, you may see instead of 200, 195 as an example. The numbers will fluctuate, but that's kind of the idea. So going forward, after you make this change, you will have different sort of data that will be it should be lower, definitely because you're excluding yourself from Google Analytics. I hope that was helpful. If you're interested in more of this type of videos, please subscribe to my channel, and also you can join our Facebook group if you like. It's Google Analytics Tips and Tricks. You can search for that, or I'll put the link in the video as well. Have a great day.